it's Christy. It is Monday, probably most of our people's less favorite day, but that's okay. I'm here so that we can have a little creativity. We're doing a couple cute little things, nothing really big and extravagant, but adorable. We are going to be making for hopefully our tier trays. I hope you guys were able to look around for some tiered trays. We're going to be making a cute little chocolate bunny, although this is one that you can't eat. This is actually from the Dollar Spot at Target. They're little cement guys that you get. And actually, I was thinking about this when I was painting him. You guys could probably get little bunnies from anywhere, or like even your own decor. If you've already had like the same rabbit from a really long time ago, you can, revamp him up and turn him into a chocolate bunny. So that's what we're going to be making today. I don't know if you guys can see the color or not, so we'll see. I hope my camera lasts for everything, but when you hop on, jump on and tell me where you're from, and say hi so I know that I'm working. And until then, we're just going to be painting, getting started. We're also going to be making this cute little carrot. If you look closely, this carrot is actually made from little terracotta plants. So we're going to be making that as well. And if my camera survives, we're going to also decoupage a little bunny for a little sign for your tiered tray. And then I'll do it up, and then I'll take a picture so you guys can see it all done up. And I'm actually, please let me know, guys, if you are interested in maybe getting a sweet little gift pack for like a tiered tray starter kit. If we are sprinkling and sharing and telling your friends about my page so we get more followers, I'll actually be maybe giving away a little pack of tier trays sampler kit. I did pick a couple of people from our last video to get some calendars. Christine Lynn, that's how you are on Facebook. I did PM you, so if you could just send me your address, you're going to be getting one of my calendars. And also Linda Kelly, go ahead and message me your address, and you'll be getting some napkins and a calendar. So I'll be sending those out this week. Okay, while we're waiting for more people to come on, we're going to go ahead and get started. I grabbed this sweet little rabbit as well. It was a little different than the standing up one, so that's what we're going to be painting now. Today we're going to be using the Waverly chalk paint. I'm going to be using, this is called Truffle, if you guys can see or screenshot it. This is the Truffle Brown. So it does go on a little funky looking, but once it dries, it actually turns out good. And it looks exactly like a truffle or like a chocolate. So that's what we'll go ahead and get started with. A lot of people dip their brushes in here, but I'm trying to like not take forever tonight. So I'm going to just pour a little out. So I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. This paint reminds me of chocolate pudding, to be honest. It's kind of funny. So we're just going to paint it right on. Now, I didn't prime this or anything. We just started, I just went and go for it. Just started painting the bunny. Now, I do recommend, if you guys want a little bit more coverage, or if this is going to be in like daylight where a lot of sun hits it, I do recommend doing at least two coats. 2 coats is going to give it a good coverage, and it will be less of the gray coming through. Now, these are just cement rabbits. They are a Dollar Spot right now, and Easter's coming, so you got to kind of grab the stuff. Like I told you guys before, you got to grab the stuff before the actual holiday hits, and not like 2 days before. Almost like a season or a holiday before. Like I started seeing Easter, well, you guys know, I started seeing Easter stuff come out to the store very, very soon. I think it was like even before Valentine's Day came. So when I do paint around, I'm just using a dry brush right into the paint. When I do the details on the eye and the nose, I just carefully brush it because you don't want to get a bunch of it in there because then it'll get all clogged up and then you won't see the effect of the face. So that's what we're doing. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I actually went over to Hobby Lobby with my friends Sharon and Gail. They told me about, well, I didn't even know there was clearances going on, but you guys got to get the clearances while you can. I got a ton of bags for my shop so that everybody will get a cute little gift bag. We got a bunch of jewelry. I got some more fabrics to go toward my new product, which I'm going to show you guys at the end of the video. So if you hop on, come say hello. While I'm doing this video, Rob is probably going to come home and you'll hear my dogs again. You'll hear my dogs say hello again. They love when he comes home. So basically we're just going to coat this pretty good. And like I said, it goes on kind of funky. But once it dries, it actually dries darker. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me show you. See, I don't know if you could tell the difference really with the camera, but this is definitely darker than this one. And this one only has one coat. It might actually turn out a little bit darker if you do the 2 coats. So, like I said on my last video, I love bunny rabbits and I love chocolate. So you could pretty much guess chocolate bunnies are one of my favorite. As a kid, I think I was guilty of not wanting to eat my chocolate bunny because it was so cute. Did anybody have that? Or was that just me and my weirdo self? Because I know I wouldn't eat Peeps. Not because a lot of people think they're gross. I don't think they're bad. I'd have to probably be in the mood for them, which is not very often. But I was very guilty of not eating all of my chocolate bunny. Or I'll just like eat his ear off. I didn't want to eat him. I was superstitious that way. Or whatever you call it. Alright, so I am just going to... Now, you can use your finger. I've got wipes here, so... Just to kind of lift them up and get the parts underneath. The little cracks and crannies, depending which one you get. I think there was 2 or 3 different styles. These are the 2 that I grabbed. Okay, and then we're going to turn them around. You guys can easily do this. This is actually a perfect project for kids. Something to get your kids involved in so that they can, you know, be part of the home decorating, not just you. And then you can paint them whatever color you want. The cement really does take the chalk paint pretty good. Now I'll tell you a little bit about the chalk paint. This is the Waverly chalk paint. Again, it's truffle. I think it's about the same price as acrylic. You could use acrylic too if that's what you have on hand. You could even mix colors till you get your, you know, your favorite brown that you like. So I just happened to get this because a lot of people use brown when they distress things with like a white paint. And we actually might do that. So, or we'll do that another day. We'll see. Okay. So he's going to dry. I used see how that much paint that took? Not very much at all. I used way too much brown paint. So I might even come in toward the end of the video and do another, oops, I'm all tangled here. I might do another coat on him. So this is actually good. You guys, you have to think out of the box. I was thinking today, these are cement. They're probably meant to be outside anyway. And, you know, a couple coats should last it a couple seasons. I don't know in the sun for Florida, because Florida's really bright. But I was thinking today, you guys can make tier trays for outside. Put some plants in it, put some painted rocks in there. maybe like a jar, maybe make like a little waterfall. Put some picks in there, some floral picks. You guys can be very, very creative. It doesn't always have to be indoors. I just want to stress that. So we're just going to dry him off. And then I think we'll paint the carrots next while he's finishing drying. I think when I'm all done, I'll take a picture of the two of them. Who's the other one who wasn't in my shot? And honestly, you don't need to put a sealer on it unless you're going to be like handling it constantly. These don't really need a sealer. They already kind of look like a chocolate color anyway. Okay. And the paint does dry fairly quickly, you guys, as far as, you know, the Waverly goes. All right, I'm going to actually move this guy over here. And we're going to flip this up. And we're going to do the carrots. So these were in Dollar Tree, of course. These I got from the little garden section. They have a bunch of cute little minis. I like to call them littles or minis. And this is how they're going to go. They're going to stack the little ones on top. And we're going to glue that together. And then we're going to stick the very bottom on top of the little ones. And we're going to stack it like that. And that's going to form the carrot. Now, you can glue them first and then paint it. Or you can paint them individually and then glue it. I think we're going to go ahead and just glue it. So let me, gotta switch out my glue gun here. As you're coming on, tell me what you're doing, what you did this weekend, if you did anything fun. So I know if you guys watched my reel recently, you saw that I actually went to Games Unlimited. That's where I'm going to be this weekend. On Saturday from 5 to 9, I've actually started getting more product together specifically for this store, or specifically for this event. A lot of you know I'm a little geeky myself, so I was ecstatic when they asked me to be part of the show. My friend Bree told me about it. She's going to be there with her friend. She does the most amazing artwork. Especially for anime. She's very, very big into the anime. I know a lot of people are nowadays. So I just used orange. This is the acrylic. It's just orange. You can use any orange. If you like a little bit of primitive look, you could mix a little bit of the brown chalk paint with this. I suggest not, you know, just doing a little bit to the side till you get it to the color you want. Yeah, and that's what we're going to do. I mean, it's pretty simplistic. But the primitive look, a lot of people like, and they put them in a little bundle, and they put a little tag on it. So, that's all the paint, you know, that's just a little paint is all we need, just that size. Look, guys, I got a new glue gun. This is another thing that we got this weekend. I actually got two. So I went to Joann's, probably got too much fabric for my stuff, but I went to Joann's and I was looking at the glue guns. This is actually a nice little one. I do have a cordless glue gun. I love it, but it's very, very hot and it's very, very hard to use for certain little projects because it's pretty big and it's a Ryobi, so it's pretty strong. And depending on the glue sticks you use, sometimes it kind of oozes out. So I got this at Joann's and I used it a little bit today and I love it because it's got that small tip. It does have the dual setting. Right now I'm on high. I think I'm actually going to go down lower because with this project I probably don't need a whole lot of glue and I don't need it to be really hot. So right now this is my big winner. That other little one I was using was just a cheap little dollar store one that I've had for a while. My daughter keeps taking my glue guns, so, and they're somewhere to be found in my craft room, so that's that. Anyway, so what we're going to do, we're going to start off, both of the smaller ones in this pack are the same size, so it doesn't matter which one you use. We're just going to go in and just put it right in there. And actually, you want to put it on the inside. I put a little bit on the outside just because I thought we were doing the other one, but that's okay. You can always scrape it off later because when glue settles, sometimes you can peel it off if you get it wrong. But pretty much that's what we did. We just put one pot inside the other. I'm thinking you could probably do this with bigger ones, but I haven't tried that. But that might be something that we try. Just for like a little porch decoration. Now this is the one you want to put the glue on the outside. Because this is going to go right on top. And that's it. This one doesn't have a lot of strings like the other one either. So I'm actually kind of excited about this glue stick. Or this glue gun. Alright, so there we have our carrot. There's Rob coming home. You might hear the puppies. Alright, so we're just going to paint. We're just going to paint orange. We're just going to do orange. I don't think I'm going to do a primitive one because it's not going to match my one that I have. But I highly recommend you try it. You might actually like the outlook of it. Especially if you have decor that's very country. So, I probably should have used a pretty bigger paintbrush. But for little things like this, you can just use a medium or a small if you're not in a hurry. If you're trying to whip out a bunch and like do multiple, you might want to use a little bit bigger brush. Like I said, I'm really bad at keeping my brushes wet and clean. So you guys can definitely chime in and remind me about that. So we are just going to paint all sides. And it's okay if we got that glue on that side. Now acrylic dries really fast as well. Probably not as fast as the chalk because it is a very wet. The chalk paint, if you've never tried it before, it does have a little bit of a consistency to it. When you do have, it has a thicker consistency. It also has a, you could smell a little bit of over, but it's not overpowering. I mean, you can't really smell a whole lot, but the first time I used it, I was like, it does have a little bit of an odor to it. It is about, I would say it's about the same price. The bottle itself, I believe this was like under $2 you can just get it at Walmart in the craft department versus the like Apple Barrel or Craft Smart. I will say it's probably about the same price because when you're using chalk paint, it's not a thinner consistency like you would normally like probably use 2 coats of paint for your acrylic versus your, my carrot's a little lopsided, but that's okay. You'd probably use 2 or 3 coats of the acrylic and probably maybe 1 or 2 depending where you're putting it and what you're doing with the project for the chalk paint. So we are just painting away. Now, when you do this project, you're also going to get some scraps together. You could really use any color. You can paint your scraps if you don't have something green. You could use an old shirt, an old rag, a dish towel, a washcloth, whatever you'd like. And then that's what we're going to do when this thing dries. I'm probably going to put it on its side when we dry it. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put it like that and paint it here now. So like I said, Video Games Unlimited is a very cool store. If you are local, I recommend checking it out. It has all the video games from the very, very beginning of Atari to my generation, to our kids' generation, and then all the new stuff. So it's pretty much all the games put in one. The store is laid out very nicely, and they have a video arcade. Now, the video arcade, I believe, is $8 a day for all you can play. You get a wristband, and you get to play whatever games they have set up in there. They have stations set up with old school Mario, with TVs. They have Guitar Hero. They have like computer games. They have pinball. They have the old Atari games that you would have found at like your regular arcade, like old school arcade, that you pay $0.25 for. Only you don't have to pay them. You're actually playing for an all play. They also carry snacks, so it's a nice little place that the kids can hang out. So if you have teenagers or something like that, you could just, drop them off for a couple hours while you go shopping across the street at the Park Plaza or something. Give them a little money, get a snack and a drink, and everything is fairly reasonably priced. It's not overpriced. It's all just kind of market value. Everybody there is very, very friendly. They have everything for all ages, I will say. All right, I think I'm going to turn this around and finish this. Now, we could put a little bow on our bunnies because I think it's dry now. But honestly, I don't really want to mess with it. I really don't want to mess with it because I kind of like them plain the way they are. They look more authentic, like a real chocolate bunny. Okay. Hi guys, how are you doing? Okay, now I'm going to let that dry for a few minutes. We're going to come over here. I'm probably going to have to use my air dryer, but that's okay. Actually, let me put that in. I'm working on getting an extension cord down here because I only have the one right now. So we'll go ahead and run this for a few minutes on the carrot. I really like the way these turned out too. It's something different. Alright, so we'll do that for a few minutes. I'll show you the scrap pieces of fabric I have. If you know somebody that sews, I'm sure they have scrap fabrics laying around. You can always ask them. Or you can get yourself at Joann's or Hobby Lobby, any of the fabric stores, if you have a local one. We have Jay's Fabrics in our area. Hi, Sharon! Thanks for joining! I'm actually talking about the fabric strips that you gave me. I'm going to use them for this project. We're making carrots and chocolate bunnies. So I use these. We have this print right here. And then we have this darker. This one would look really great if you were doing primitive ones. And then we have the checkered one, which I used in this one. This is what we're making. Alright, this is a cute little carrot. And I would recommend maybe doing a couple of these. Thanks for joining me, Sharon. I thought you were working today. Like I said, the acrylic takes a little bit longer to dry, but this does speed it along. You just hit it from all ends. Okay. I think I'm going to use this one. So we don't need really long strips. Just you can eyeball it. I would say maybe about 4 inches or so. And you don't need to do it straight or anything. So I'm just going to cut a few strips out. These are going to be our little leaves, or our stems, I should say, of our carrots. I'll probably do 2 more strips. Yay, you're off work, Sharon. On a Monday? How in the world did you manage that? You know, today felt like, I'm not complaining at all because it was Monday, and we all know Mondays. Today felt like it went by kind of fast, and I don't know why. I'm so glad you're not working, though. Okay, so we're just going to pretend that this is completely dry. If I were to do this again, I'd probably do, see how that's really thin? I'd probably do another coat of the orange, but we're going to leave it like that for time's sake because of the live. All right. Definitely need my extension cord. This is a really fun, simple project to do also at kids. It's not too time consuming. The kids would have so much fun painting these pots. And then basically, this is the part that they'd have fun with too, with the scraps. So I'm gonna let this warm up just a little bit. I got a thing on me. So we're just gonna lay it down in all kinds of ways, just to make it kind of pop out like that, like a stem. So we're gonna put that in there. I would recommend low is fine for this project. Now, I do have my finger savers, so I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of those on since we are kind of placing it down in here. I'm just putting the glue right in here. I'm sorry if I sound a little boring tonight, you guys. I'm pretty tired. It was a long weekend, and then we're just going to put a little bit more glue, just another dab, and then we're going to put in this one. And it does not have to be straight. Actually, the less straight it is, the funner it actually, well, that's a word. That's a word I invented. The funner it looks. The more interesting it looks, I should say. And then the last one we're probably going to put in kind of standing up a little bit. There you go. And then you can play with it. Just kind of poke it down in there. Get rid of your strings. And there's our carrot. See how cute that was? You have tomorrow off too? Oh my goodness, Sharon. At least you get to work on more stuff. Sharon is the crafter that comes with me to do all the shows. And she's a lot of fun. She actually helped me with my sewing machine. Thank you for that, by the way. I'm going to be having her as a guest on my live pretty soon. We have to figure out what we're going to do on the live together, but we'll do it. All right, so there we go. We got our chocolate bunny and our carrot. And then these would look perfect all together in a tier tray. Or a little tabletop. However you want to put it. It would also look cute in a dough bowl or a basket. Do you like the way I did the 2 different leaves, Sharon? Thankfully, your fabric came in handy. I didn't really have green, so I was like, what am I going to do? And then I went in the stash you gave me. That was super fun. All right, so let's do one more. And this one we might have to wait till the final project is complete before you can actually see it. I got these napkins the other day from Home Goods when I was looking at my tier trays. I was looking for napkins with a full bunny like this so we can do something with it. I will be sending out napkins to anybody that that PMs me private message, that's what that means, by the way. And then look, it looks like you get 4. Maybe you get 2. No, you get 4. You get 4 on a napkin. That's great. All right, so little trick I learned. If you want to, because you obviously need to separate the napkin on top from the bottom one. And if you're having a hard time with this, just put a little Mod Podge on your finger so it'll stick. And then see how easy that is? And then you pull that off. Isn't that cool? Now, we're not going to put the whole napkin on this little block, okay? We're just going to put the actual bunny. So this is probably close to a perfect size. And we're going to paint it too. So no worries there. But we're just going to cut it out. Make sure it is just the first ply, because otherwise when you put the Mod Podge down, you're not going to get the rest of it. You're only going to get the first part of the napkin, and then the bunny's not going to stick. Okay, there we go. So we just cut that out. Now, you can paint this any color you want. I'm actually going to do, yes, I'm going to do the chalk paint. I used a lot of this white chalk paint already. This is just plain white, I think. Yep, just plain white. Just plain white. I just put my brush in there. This is kind of my white chalk paint brush, as you can see. Like I said, this stuff dries very, very quickly. And I would just do a top thin coat, because you're going to cover it with a bunny, most of it anyways. Now, if you want to get really detail oriented, you can also put it on the side. But we're not going to do that today because on live, because of the sake of time. So, all right. I hope everybody's having a good Monday. I hope the day went by fast. Probably not fast enough. It was very cold in Florida today. I don't know where everybody's at, but it was it was chilly, I should say. It was pretty, for this time of year, it's pretty odd for it to be cold. It was one of those days where you stand in the sun and it's beautiful, and you stand in the shade and you're cold. That's what it felt like. All y'all up north are probably laughing at me, though. All right, let me make sure the bunny will fit. I think we need to go around and make a little, just a little outline around him so the whole bunny, I want to get the flowers in too, just so that he fits better. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Well, our service is going good. My phone hasn't knocked us offline. Am I coming in clear? Can you tell me if I'm coming in clear? Is my picture clear? It's not foggy or anything? Probably have to cut the top part of this off. Oh, while that's drying, you guys, I wanted to show you something. Our next little video we're going to do, I'm going to be doing a special thing. So I got this table runner, and please tell me this is gorgeous. Do you not love this? Look at the beading on it. So my girl, yes, thank you. Good. So, yes, after the trip we had to Hobby Lobby, it was pretty tiring. I don't know how many hours we spent in the store, but we're not going to talk about that. All right. So this is really, really pretty. It's gorgeous. And it's actually double-sided. This is a table runner. Now, you don't have to use it as a table runner. It's actually double-sided. So for the money, you actually get 2 of these, and both sides have the beads and everything. So what I'm going to do with this is I am going to make a pillow out of one side. And I think, tell you guys tell me if I should do this, but I think I'm going to put this in a frame and hang it like artwork because it's that pretty for that time of year. What do you guys think of that? I want to know your opinions. Okay. We are good to go for the Mod Podge. I believe that's pretty much dry enough. See our white? And this just kind of provides a little bit of a coat. So we're just going to put it on very, very lightly at first. And then we're going to place our bunny where we want it, nice and straight. And then we can just Mod Podge gently. Now when you're using napkins, you don't want to overload your brush. You just do very, very light little strokes. If you have to go back and do more later, so be it. You don't want bubbles. Got to make it very nice and straight. You don't want a lot of bubbles in it. And I forgot my tool upstairs. The one that I told you guys about. So, of course, this isn't turning out as lovely as it should, but you get the idea of it. If we had that tool, we just roll over it. And don't be scared if it goes over the edges. You can always Mod Podge that edge down and it'll still look just as pretty. Now, we're going to pretend that this is a little smoother, but that's how you want to do it. Just a very thin layer. You can either do the surface or the back. You don't want to overload your brush, like I said. That's a little too, I might redo this because it's a little too wrinkled for my taste. But the more and more smooth and flat you make it, the prettier the image comes out. And the wetter you make it, the more apt that it's going to get air bubbles and the more apt it's going to wrinkle or tear. And then you'll have to start your whole project again. It's very frustrating, but I've learned that the hard way. So I try. And I'm just rubbing it down because I don't have my tool with me. My little roller. But my finger does the trick. All right. We are just about done. While I let this dry and we do the final reveal of that, I'm going to tell you a couple more things. So we're going to do the tier tray price pack probably by next month. I'll make sure I get it out to you before Easter. So sprinkle the video and tell your friends about it, and we'll do that giveaway. And then we have Dwellings on the Boulevard. They are going to be doing their last show the last Sunday, or the first Sunday of every month. The last one, though, is April 2nd. And then they'll be doing it again in October, and I'll be out there. There's actually more exciting news on that. And then Sharon, I got to get with you about this exciting news I found out about it. So I'll be hitting you up later. The other thing is this Saturday between 5 and 9, I'll be at Unlimited Games. I'll be outside in the little fun last Saturday market they have. And then Art in the Park in Seminole, I'll be there. And then April 1st, I'll be downtown at the art show for the All That Glitters. Oh, that's right. I wanted to show you guys. One of the things I picked up at Hobby Lobby. Yes, I said it again. All That Glitters. All That Glitters, this art show. So this is going to go on my art piece. Yeah, baby. Look at that. And look at the price I got it for. Oh my God, you cannot beat that. Look at all this. Isn't it pretty? I'm so excited about it. Anyway, so those are the things that are going on. Make sure you follow so that you are getting all the updates. Okay. There we go. There's our little tier tray. And it sits up like this. in your little tier tray. And then, like I said, you can cut the edges, sand it off like we did our other wooden pieces. And then I would actually go around here. You could actually do front or back, or you could do different holidays. You can do like St. Patty's or Valentine's on this side, and then Easter on this side. That way you only have one piece, less to store. Less is more, they say. And then I would actually go around and put white. So I'll probably do that and then post a picture. All right, so these are today's crafts. We've got our carrots. We've got our little wood piece. And then we have our chocolate bunnies. Don't forget the chocolate bunnies. Even if you're not old enough for Easter basket or too old for Easter baskets, you can't be too old for chocolate bunnies. All right, guys, I am out of here. I'm going to go finish dinner and check out this, check out my page, check out all my previous videos if you're new to watching, and make sure to send me some hearts and some love. Bye, guys. Have a good night.